reporting earnings after the bell today. Our next guest out with a new note saying the company's path to a $4 trillion market capitalization begins today with, quote, another drop-the-mic performance. He also thinks tech stock will continue to rally into year-end. If you haven't figured it out, he is Dan Ives, Wedbush Securities Global Head of Technology Research. Has a buy rating on Nvidia. Price target's 200. Why is it going to be a drop-the-mic quarter?
I think right now, demand to supply is 15 to 1. And, they're the only game in town. And from all of our Asia trips that we talked about here on the show, it is just the beginning of this AI revolution. And I think as you start to see with Blackwell, Street's still underestimating what this is going to do as all the hyperscalers start to build out that AI CapEx at the top of that mountain. It's the godfather of AI, Jensen, NVIDIA. And I think that's why tonight, it's going to be a drop the mic, get the popcorn out quarter.
Is it going to be from the numbers reported, or is it going to also be from the commentary around guidance?
Well, I think especially guidance, because Blackwell, when you look, we could be looking at a trajectory 20, 25, 30 billion a year, right? And if you look at how the street sort of modeled this, I think still massively underestimated in terms of where this go over the next year or two. Look, because my view is the big question is when could this get to 200 billion of annual revenue? And I think they continue to underestimate what NVIDIA and what this AI spending, this tidal wave is going to do, not just for big tech, but especially with NVIDIA. And that's why when Jensen speaks, everyone listens. But it just shows what's coming second, third,
How hard is it to figure this out? We kind of have a sense for what all the hyperscalers, the main customers, are going to spend. They've told us in terms of their own commentary. Why is this a mystery?
Because I think many continue, whether it's Blackwell delays, worries about technology, over-ordering, it's about the 2 and 2 model. 2 billion beat, 2 billion in terms of guidance raise. And I think when you trajectory this out, this eventually is a company, at first you're talking about dollar earnings, now you're like, could it be $5, $6 out year earnings? But it also just shows for broader tech. Still, 9:30, 10 p.m. in the AI party that I think goes to 4 a.m. And that's why I think big tech, we're looking at NASDAQ, not just 20,000 in the next few years, especially with Trump and what have you, deregulation. This is just very bullish for the tech trade.
You're referring to the average revenue beat last few quarters is about $2 billion. Some argue that it might not be as much this time. If that happens, would the price get punished?
It could a little, but I still think 2 and 2 in terms of the model. But it's also about Blackwell, in terms of what that could look like over the next few quarters. And it just goes back to 3 months ago. And the initial reaction, stocks down, bears all come out of hibernation mode in their spreadsheets. This is up 17% since the watch party. So as we continue to head in, I think we talk about $4 trillion. I think over the next 12, 18 months, besides them and Apple and others, we're going to be talking eventually about $5 trillion market caps in tech as this fourth industrial revolution plays out.
You said that nobody's even close in terms of competition. Does that dynamic change in 2025?
Look, I think AMD obviously trying to sort of get around the corner. Others will start to ultimately... There's some private companies you're going to see a lot of funding in terms of trying to find who could ultimately be in this race. But they continue to be in the left lane, Bugatti going 90 miles an hour, everyone else in a minivan going 35 miles an hour. And that's why when I look at the stock, this is not expensive. It just continues to be my view that the street underestimates where it can go and where growth can go. And that's why tonight, I think there's just another indication where this AI spending trend is.
Well, we'll be watching. Obviously, the largest market cap company on the planet after the bell. Dan, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Dan Ives.
In a world where technological advancements define power and capabilities, Nvidia Corp, NVDA, has once again set the stock market abuzz with a groundbreaking shift in artificial intelligence infrastructure. Known for its innovative prowess and transformative technologies, NVIDIA's latest venture heralds a pivotal transformation in the realm of information processing with the introduction of its Blackwell GPUs. This time around, the tech giant is pushing the envelope by adopting liquid cooling for data centers, a move that is both audacious and necessary. This new approach not only addresses critical inefficiencies in current systems, but also opens a vast array of challenges and opportunities that could redefine the industry. As whispers of its potential impact ripple through financial and technological circles, leading figures in companies such as Cooler Master, AVC, and Vertiv are rallying to harness this wave of change. But what makes this development so revolutionary, And how does it promise to rewrite the rules and expectations within AI ecosystems? The answers lie in a detailed exploration of how Nvidia is not just tweaking older systems, but reimagining the very framework of data center design. Welcome back, everyone, to Investocracy.
All right, let's start off. You're going to actually give us the word of the day today. What is it and why?
Fire, because I think this is a tech market that's going to be on fire, not just for going into the end of the year this week, but what I believe right now, this AI revolution, it's hitting its next phase. And I think this is just still the start of a fourth industrial revolution.
All right, still the start, but you always say it's 9 o'clock. It's got to be 9:30.
No, I actually said it now. It's 9:30 to 10 p.m. in the AI party. That goes to 4 a.m.
All right, so you have a number of upgrades in the space, specifically in the software space when it comes to AI. One of them is Snowflake. The other one's actually Elastic. We've been fortunate enough to have the CEO on the show. Kind of a broad-based play. They do cloud, they do security as well. Why these two names?
Look, I think, and we've talked about a lot here on the show, now the second derivative, the software piece of AI is here. I think in 2025, that's going to be the key. You look at Elastic, Snowflake, names like MongoDB, they're the ones now that follow names like Palantir in terms of the software, the use cases. I believe the software AI age is now here. 2025, that's going to be front and center. That's why we upgrade those names.
All right, so both of those names have recently had earnings, actually. We're going to show the charts. Big jump. Snowflake's up over 25% since earnings. Elastic's up over 20% since earnings. What's going to push them even higher? I mean, they've had big spikes post-earnings. What else is going to happen that's going to be another catalyst?
That's just the appetizer in terms of where I believe these stocks are going. Because now the consumption model, what's happening across enterprise AI, obviously it starts with Godfather of AI, Jensen, Nvidia. But now you look at the consumption piece, these LLM models, what you're going to start to see, I believe earnings and overall growth is being underestimated potentially by 15, 20% over the next few years. That's why you look at names like Snowflake, Elastic, Mongo. It all starts, obviously, with Messi of AI, Palantir, but this software phase is here, and it's just the beginning.
As NVIDIA's Blackwell GPUs make their grand debut, it's increasingly clear that we are not merely witnessing an incremental improvement in technology. Instead, we are standing at the brink of a revolution in AI data center design. At the core of this transformation is the adoption of liquid cooling systems, a solution that has long been overshadowed by its air-cooled counterparts due to historical concerns over reliability and complexity. However, modern innovations have tackled these challenges head-on, with improved cold plate designs and advanced manifold technologies paving the way for reliable mass production. It's a bit like finding the perfect combination on a lock, unlocking a vault of untapped opportunities for NVIDIA and its allied partners. Major industry players like Cooler Master, AVC, and emerging stalwarts such as Auras and Delta are now strategically positioned to supply NVIDIA with the necessary cutting-edge cooling components, thus propelling this technological leap forward on a global scale. Moreover, companies like Vertiv and Delta are solidifying their leadership positions in power supply innovation, which is crucial for supporting NVIDIA's advanced, power-hungry machines within the expanded infrastructure. With GPU density set to double, thanks to NVIDIA's GB200 racks, the demand for efficient and sustainable power solutions is poised to skyrocket, a fact underscored by a projected 17% increase in data center power consumption by 2028. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with NVIDIA's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates.
So how does the idea of bond yields play a part of this? I want to ask you, probably back in 2022, we were talking a lot about bond yields. We're talking about the stronger dollar. In fact, right now, the dollar's even higher than it was back in June of 2022 when Microsoft warned, when Salesforce warned. How did those things play a factor in this tech trade?
Well, look, on currency, clearly that's been, that could be a headwind. I think the difference now is that a lot of that's factored into guidance. Now, we got to see if that continues in terms of dollar strength. But we're in a much different situation today relative to, I think, what we're seeing from a demand perspective. That tightening environment that really actually was a big hurdle in terms of software, we're seeing the opposite of it because of where this AI revolution plays. So I think even though you could have some currency headwinds, it is not getting in the way of what I believe is we're going to be talking about NASDAQ 20,000. And I believe in the next 2 years, NASDAQ 25,000 is something that we'll be talking about.
Naturally, not every reference to the stock market must be serious. After all, many investors would agree, investing is a subject that can steal your sanity quicker than a flash crash. Yet, when it comes to Nvidia and its partners, the data meticulously backs up the optimistic chatter. A recent multi-billion-dollar agreement with Vertiv underscores their leading role in the cooling industry, paving the way for sustained growth. Meanwhile, companies like Han High Precision and Quanta are also fiercely competing in the race, catering to tech giants such as Microsoft Corp, MSFT, and Meta Platforms Inc., Meta, thanks to their cost-effective solutions and flexible designs that appeal to a broad range of needs. Ultimately, Nvidia's Blackwell GPUs and the associated liquid cooling innovations are set to reshape not just AI servers, but the entire landscape of data center infrastructure. This wave of change does not end with cooling. It accelerates innovation across power consumption solutions, ensuring that companies like Delta benefit from increased margins resulting from the high-efficiency demands of new power supplies. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
Deregulation, the idea of some changes when it comes to the FTC and other areas that are regulators. Does that help either one of these names, or are they neutral to that?
Well, I think it's actually bullish, because in our view, with Khan going to be out, FTC, this is going to be significant in terms of deal making. I think these are companies that are going to go on the offensive. And then on the other hand, you're just going to have massive M&A from strategic as well as on the financial M&A side. And that's why software has underperformed. But if you look in 2025, I think a year from now, we sit here and we're like, software is fire. Because this is just the start of what I view. 9:30, 10 p.m. is the AI revolution. We're talking about $2 trillion of AI CapEx. Now software, they were on the velvet ropes behind Nvidia, Microsoft, the hyperscalers. Software is like, let us into the party. Party's here.
The party's here, okay. I want to get to our mystery chart. It was Palantir. So Palantir, having a huge year so far, and you just raised your price target on Palantir. So the street's at about 37 bucks. You're at 75 bucks. This stock's had a big run up. What's going to continue to move this higher?
Look, and the haters will continue to hate, as we know, in terms of the bears on Palantir. They are still underestimating when it comes to the software, the use cases. There's no product out there that matches what I believe what Carp and the team have done at AIP. So I think the enterprise piece, we're talking about something that could ultimately be billions of revenue. So when you actually look at what this means, $75, be like, oh, it's expensive. I look out 3-4 years from now, could Palantir be the next Oracle, the next Salesforce, the next SAP? That's what I think we're talking about. And that's why, look, the bears will come out of hibernation, talk about valuation, just to start what I view for the Messi of AI.
As the market brims with excitement over Nvidia's pioneering strides in AI infrastructure, the company stands at the threshold of transformative growth, endeavoring into new territories with bold and visionary steps. This strategic shift towards liquid-cooled systems and enhanced power solutions forms the structural backbone of tomorrow's data centers and promises a lucrative surge in value for those who dare to invest at this pivotal moment. The forecast for Nvidia is one of accelerated growth and dominance, with its Blackwell GPUs anticipated to set new performance standards and attract significant market interest, further solidifying its place as a leader in the industry. Investors and tech enthusiasts alike should keep a vigilant eye on Nvidia and its dynamic network of strategic partners, as they not only meet the current demand, but are actively shaping the future of AI server ecosystems. With the company's forward-thinking approach and innovative solutions, Nvidia's position in the stock market is set to continue its upward trajectory, presenting a compelling case for investment in an era where technology is king. So, as you contemplate these fascinating developments and their far-reaching implications, what are your thoughts on Nvidia's pivotal role in the ongoing AI revolution? Are you prepared to ride the tide of innovation and potentially redefine the future of technology alongside them? And finally, if you would like to know what companies like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen.